Well, hello, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. Jiu-Jitsu 2000 here today. I hope you guys are doing fabulous. I'm back. Today I have an interesting video for you. Today we're going to talk about a Brinyte flashlight. This is the Artemis Model T28. This is a zoomable flashlight, and it has its own patented tricolor lighting source control switch design. It utilizes white, red, and green CREE LEDs, and it's easy to meet users' multi-lighting source requirements. It has a unique tail cap switch that is a stepless dimmer, so it's a ramping type flashlight. It doesn't have like mode spacing. You can go anywhere from the lowest setting all the way up to the highest setting, and it's very convenient and easy to adjust the brightness levels that you need. I think this is going to be an excellent choice of lighting for anybody outdoors. Maybe you're hunting, maybe you're fishing, maybe you're camping. I think this is going to be a good light for those people. So let's go ahead and open this up and see what comes in the package. I'm super excited about this. First thing that you see right here is the owner's manual, and I love the way they do this. It's like these cards. Super cool. Right here is information. So if you guys are seeing anything or wanting to hang on to any of this information, just feel free to pause. And unless you pause, I'm gonna keep moving forward. So I really like these cards. They give you a lot of good information about the flashlights. This flashlight operates on a single 21700 lithium-ion rechargeable battery. The battery operates at 5,000 milliamp hour. Now right here you can see I have a USB 2 to USB-C charging cable. Now this light does not have a charging port, and what's really cool about this is the light charges the battery itself, not the light itself. So this is cool. You take the battery out and this USB-C plugs into the battery. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm super excited about that. Now this light has Brinyte's patented tricolor lighting source switch design. The next thing that we see here is a remote switch. Okay, so this threads into the tail cap. So you take the tail cap switch out and you thread this in, and this gives you a remote control option. Maybe you wanted to mount this to a firearm or something like that. This would be super cool. You have in the center here a power button right there, and then if you want to dim the brightness or increase the brightness, you just push the corresponding button, and then again you have a power button. I've played with this off camera, and this is super cool. You'll also see that there's 3 replacement O-rings. These 3 O-rings are very nice because without them, this light would have trouble carrying its IPX6 water resistant rating. This light is not waterproof, meaning it's not designed to go underwater. It's actually designed for rain showers and things like that. So don't take this thing underwater. It's not IPX8 or 7, it's IPX6. The last thing that we see in the package is the flashlight itself. So let's take a first look at that light. That is a nice quality looking light. There you can see the logo, you can see the nice knurling job that they've done. Here's a look at the lens of the light. Right now it's on the white LED. If I turn it, it'll go to the red LED. There's back to white, and then there's green. And I'll show you how I turned that here in just a second. T28 Artemis. Right there, you can see it says green, white, or red. So you just move this selector switch to whatever color you want, and the lens corresponds to the correct LED, and that's how you get to change the colors of what the light shows. Very, very cool. I like this battery tube design. Very nice. Now right here we're looking at the stepless dimmer switch design on the tail cap switch. So basically what you do is you long press to turn the light on, and then clockwise increases the brightness, and counterclockwise of this dial decreases the brightness. So it's very, very cool. You can go all the way to low, all the way up to high, and again, it's a stepless dimmer switch design. It's very easy to meet any brightness level that you might want out of this light. Now the lens here is got a threaded lens design, and it reminds me of something that you would see on a camera. What you do here is you turn this, and it goes from a spotlight to a floodlight, depending on what you do here with this lens. You see how it changes the location of the LEDs in alignment with the lens itself. So you can go from, like I said, a flood all the way to a spot, and you can go anywhere in between. Now this light has a regulated power supply which maintains constant brightness. It's very, very cool. This light is also equipped with overcharge protection. It has over discharge protection and overheat protection. It's also got reverse polarity protection, which would prevent damage to the flashlight in the event that you accidentally may have improperly installed the battery. Very, very cool. And the material that this light is made out of is aircraft grade high strength aluminum. This is the very popular 6061 T6 premium type 3 military hard anodized aluminum, and it's got the anti-abrasive finish also. So let's go ahead and unthread the tail cap switch here. We'll take a look at that real quick. So here's a look at the tail cap switch. Again, you can see a very nice quality build here. I like this. You push this, you can't really see it because it barely moves. Listen. You can hear it click, and then you just turn it clockwise for brighter, counterclockwise for dimmer. Right here, there is an O-ring right there. That gives you that IPX6 water resistant rating. Very cool. You have a lanyard installed. And then looking at the battery, you get rid of the little insulation strip here. And here you can see that the light is included with a 21700 3.6 volt lithium ion rechargeable battery operating at 5,000 milliamp hour or 18 watt hours. And then look at this right here by my thumb. Take a look at that. You're going to see the USB-C charge port. Super cool. You plug that wire into there, and in the center of the positive here, that will illuminate red when charging. That's the positive side of the battery. Here's the negative side of the battery. The battery also has a red indicator telling you that it's charging. And here you can see that the charge indicator is showing blue, so charging is complete. Now looking inside the battery tube, you can see a spring down in there. I like that when they put a spring on the both ends of the battery tube. I think that's super cool, because in the event that the flashlight takes a hard fall, the battery has a spring on each side. It has a little bit of room to give. Now to insert the battery, we're going to put the positive into the flashlight, and then from here we're going to just thread the tail cap switch on. Just like so, until we're nice and tight. Now to turn the light on, it's very simple. We're going to just go ahead and start with white. So we'll go to white right quick. We're going to long press until we see the light. Now you can see that there's a real wide pattern right now, and we're dealing with the white LED. Okay, so depending on whether I'm in a spotlight configuration like this, or a floodlight configuration like this, that determines the lumen levels that come out when this light's on turbo. So meaning we're going to be turned all the way to the right. We're on the highest level possible. And since we're in a flood style beam, we're going to be dealing with 650 lumens. If we change that and go down to a spot type of beam, we're going to be dealing with 360 lumens. The runtime on this max setting of turbo is 135 minutes. And if we're in the spotlight situation right now, we're going to get 572 yards of throw, or 525 meters of throw with this setting. Okay, pretty crazy. It's also going to produce a candela rating of 69,600. Now I don't know how accurate that is, but it sounds good. So again, to adjust the beam profile, you just turn this just like a camera lens. Just turn that, and you can go anywhere from a spotlight all the way to a floodlight. Now a single press of the switch turns the light off, and another long press will turn the light on. Now in the event that you want to dim the light, again, we're just going to turn this dial seamlessly counterclockwise, and we'll get all the way down to whatever low setting we want. Look at that. Pretty crazy. So that would increase definitely the runtime. Now let's push and turn that off. Now let's take a look at the red. So the light was off obviously, and I switched modes to red. Now let's long press and take a look at the red. Okay, there we are on the lowest setting of red. And then let's just bump this up. Let's go bright. I want to see this thing in full brightness. That's the full power that we can get on the red. So since we're on a flood style beam on red, we're dealing with 140 lumens. If we change it to a spotlight, we're going to be dealing with 55 lumens. This will last for 220 minutes. So just short of 4 hours. Now the max throw on this light is on red is 255 meters. Now if you want to convert that into yards, that's what, 277 yards. Now the candela rating that they advertise for red is 16,480 candela. And just like before, we can change the pattern of the beam based on what we want by twisting the head of the flashlight. And not only that, we can again, we can adjust the brightness down to a dimmer light or full brightness depending on this tail cap switch. And I like this ramping style of option. I think it's super cool. Again, a single press turns the light off. Then we can turn it. Let's go take a look at the green setting. So we're gonna just rotate that over to green. Very easy to operate this. When you change that lever, look at what happens. Let's go here for a second. Watch those LEDs. They just move inside there when I change this lever. That's the green one there, that's the white one, and then there's the red one. These are all CREE LEDs like I mentioned earlier. So let's go back out to there. Let's long press. The light comes on. Okay. Let's go brighter, 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 brighter. Okay, now we're looking at green. Super cool. Wow, that's beautiful. That'd be good for like Halloween or something. Super cool. Now the lumen level here, when we're on a flood, it's 130 lumens, and when we're on a spotlight, it's 70 lumens. It'll give you 270 minutes of runtime on this setting, so over 4 hours. Now the beam distance that you'll see is 340 meters. Boy, the green really reaches out there. 370 yards and a 29,160 candela rating on the green. That is just crazy. Now this light is impact resistant down to 1 meter. That's 1.09 yards. And like I mentioned before, it's IPX6. So that's pretty cool. The working voltage of this light is anywhere from 3 volts all the way up to 4.2 volts. Now the dimensions of the light are kind of interesting. You can make the light shorter or longer depending on where your beam profile is. So let's say we're on the shorter version here. We're going to be dealing with 182 millimeters long, but if I extend this out, we're going to extend that length to 196 millimeters. Now the body diameter of the light is 25.4 millimeters, and the head diameter of the light right here is 54 millimeters. The weight of the light without the battery is 200 grams or 7.05 ounces. Now, just a minute ago, I talked about working voltage, and I said that we could go anywhere from 3 volts up to 4.2 volts. Now, I want to show you something here about that. Okay, right here I have 2 aftermarket 21700 batteries. I have a flat top on the top and a button top on the bottom. Because the working voltage is anywhere from 3 to 4.2 volts, I like that because that allows me to use other batteries with this light. So if we pop out that one, and the fact that this light has a spring on both sides of the battery, it gives us the ability to use standard batteries. So a long press turns it on to green and everything works. No problem. We can use standard batteries on this thing, and we can use the 21700s or the 18650s. Now I don't have any 18650s right now. I wish I did, but when I came out to the woods, I only brought this light and a couple batteries to shoot this video. So there we have the button top in there, long press, and you can see that the light turns on. Long press, you can see that the light works fine. And I'm going to take the tail cap switch off, take out the 5000 milliamp hour 21700, and I'm going to put in a standard button top 18650 into this light just to show that you can do that. Okay, so it just kind of drops in there, tighten up the tail cap, switch and long press. There you see we have light. And of course, I can make adjustments to the beam pattern. The performance, as far as brightness level, is going to be exactly the same. The only thing that you're going to notice that's different is the run times are going to be different because you're using a smaller capacity battery. So turn it off, go over to green, long press. There's green, no problems. Let's go over to red, long press. There is red, and that's pretty cool that you can see that this light clearly works with no problems using a standard 18650 lithium ion rechargeable battery. Now let's take a look real quick at this tail cap switch, this remote switch. So we're going to plug this bad boy in. The light just came on, so apparently the light's already on. Okay, so here's what we got going on here. Again, we have a power button in the center, so I can push that on and the light turns on. You don't have to long press it, it's just, I wonder if it does a momentary. Nope, if I hold it, it just turns on. So it's on or off. And then once it's on or off, if you want to dim the light, you just push the negative, and you can see the light dims. And then if you want the light brighter, you just push the positive. So it does everything that the other tail cap switch did, except it does it remotely. And you can see there's some 3M tape on there. It comes with a little sheet of Velcro. So if you wanted to stick this to something, maybe your vehicle, or maybe you got this mounted on an ATV or something because you're hunting, that'd be really cool. You know, you can turn the light off, you can switch it over to red, you can turn the light back on, and everything is done with this little remote. Super, super cool. You can mount it to your rifle, you can mount it to your motorcycle, your car, anything like that. It's pretty cool. I want to test the IPX6 water resistant rating. Now, for those of you who might not understand, IPX6 means that the light can withstand high pressure spray from any direction. So it's not a underwater kind of light, but it can handle rain. And you can see here that things are working well. So I can turn the dimmer switch down. There it is on the lowest setting. Again, any direction, high pressure spray of water. So as you can see, the Model T28 Artemis clearly passes the IPX6 water resistant rating with fine colors. I am on the max setting, so the brightest setting. You can see here that I have the flashlight to the biggest flood possible. Now I'm going to go down in brightness and let you just see as I dim, and hopefully you'll get a good glimpse, some good night shots here of this light. And then again, if I go back up to the brighter settings, you can see that this thing is very floody. Now if I change the profile of the beam, I can go to a spot and it gets extremely tight. In fact, right there, if you look at that, you can see that it's almost a square kind of shape. See, that looks like a square. Now again, we're on the brightest setting. Let me go down a little dimmer, a little bit dimmer, still going down, and that right there is the lowest setting that this light has, and that is full spotlight. Now again, increasing the brightness all the way up to the brightest that this light offers. Now we're looking at the green. I am on the brightest level possible, and you can see that it's on the spotlight. So let's go a little dimmer and take a look at this. Just kind of going down, dimming it down, and you can still see quite a bit. That is the lowest setting, and from here I'm going to go ahead and transition into a flood. So there is the floodlight. The camera doesn't really justify too much here, but I can clearly see pretty much everything that's going on, even though the camera might not be picking it up. So let me increase the brightness, and you can see that we're definitely starting to take shape, definitely starting to see what's going on. So again, this is the brightest setting, and again, you can focus this down to whatever you want. That's the tightest, and here is the most open. So now we're dealing with the red. That looks super cool. We're on the brightest setting again, and just kind of tightening that in. Same thing, you know, the lens pretty much speaks for itself. That's what red looks like. Red looks pretty cool, actually. And again, if we go to a dimmer setting, we're just kind of slowly dimming that thing. You can see that it just gets a lot less powerful. That is the lowest setting of brightness on the red. Let's go ahead and open it up and see if we can see it. It's kind of hard to see on the camera, but my eyes, I can definitely see what's going on. Let's increase the brightness level. You can see things kind of coming to life here, and that's what we're dealing with. So very, very cool. That is the brightest setting right there on red. Very cool. Very cool light. And again, you can see the square shape of that beam pattern up there. It's kind of a square. Very nice. I like it somewhere in there. That's a cool looking pattern. And of course, back to white. White light, you can see everything in the room, no problem. So I really like this light. I think it's going to do some good things. Very cool. I want to say thank you again to Brinyte for sending this out for review. I'm very happy with this light. I think it's awesome that it will not use just its own battery. I love flashlights that will allow you to use standard batteries that you can purchase anywhere. Not that their battery's not any good or anything like that, but just in case, in the event something happens unfortunate and your battery dies, it's nice to be able to get another battery, or maybe have one on hand and not have to worry about ordering one or something like that. Now there's one more thing that I want to tell you before I go about this light, and that is this light comes in two different models. Here you can see that I have white, green, and red. This price point on this one is $145.50. Now the other model is the same exact price, but it has white, IR850 and IR940. I want to say thank you to everybody for watching this video today. Please feel free to leave your comments down below, like this video, share this video, and as always, again, thanks for stopping by. I hope you guys have a beautiful day, and we'll see you next time. I'll put links in the description box down below where you can find this light, but I really like it. Bye for now.